Okay, I'm doing a little experiment here just to see what I can do in terms of videos about specific subjects. I thought this was interesting. Clicked on it this morning. These movies did not age well from Espresso because it just annoyed me because slide 21 of this slideshow is about Ghandi. It says this 1982 film starring Ben Kingsley as Mohandas Ghandi is a technical feat in just about every aspect, taking home the Oscars for Best Picture, Best Actor, Best Director, Best Writing, and Best Cinematography. But with a 191-minute runtime, it's not exactly the type of movie that begs for repeat viewing. In fact, if given the choice between going on a hunger strike or sitting through this painfully slow historical drama one more time, most people would probably choose the former. So they say this movie didn't age well, and I'm very annoyed. Now, the author's name is on this, and so this is the first decision I have to make. It's like, do I include the author's name? And no, I don't want it to be personal. Who knows what this person is like? He hasn't got great taste in film, however. You know, going through the first 19 slides, some of his rejections were for very petty reasons. I don't know, is this person even serious about what he's saying, or is he just paid to manufacture clickbait, you know, with a lot of the exaggerated feelings that you find. I've seen clickbait that's about a snapshot of a celebrity and they're raving about how beautiful it is, and it's not. It's just ordinary. So yeah, this is clickbait, definitely. I'm not sure. This is one of the best movies I've ever seen, so I'm biased. I loved it. It was very inspiring to me. My junior high school class went to the theater to see it. We discussed it. If anything, it's too short. There were scenes with Candice Bergen that I think were cut out. It's one of the most inspiring films I've ever seen. So to see somebody manufacturing clickbait saying that this is not aging well is asinine, especially when Hollywood is so utterly mediocre now, you know, when the biggest draw is comic book movies. And they just don't have any real performances. They refer to emotions that take place off screen. They don't do anything to create a real cinematic experience anymore, it seems. And so right now what I'm using this impulse to see what happens if I capture these emotional impulses instead of just letting them slide by me and add to the puddle of resentment that pools up in my heart against mass media and the garbage who run Hollywood. You know, I mean, it seems like there's a chance within a decade Hollywood will be gone in the form it is now, what with all the rapes being reported, and nobody saw the Oscars this year. Hooray for that. And so now I'm like maybe able to manage my resentment. So maybe there's a light at the end of the tunnel. They're collapsing anyway. Maybe my lowly opinion will have some significance, but I want to learn to channel it in the right way. In other words, I don't want to attack the person who wrote this personally, but I want to criticize what they have to say. I want to say it's where do you find the vocabulary for that? You know, this is not an intelligent review of this film. This is not a nice thing to say about a film who is one of the noblest films I've ever seen. One of the best motivations I've ever seen for making a film. And to say it doesn't age well, the title is Movies That Didn't Age Well. And he's putting this movie on a list with American Pie and this other tasteless junk that you can kind of sympathize with. I haven't seen American Pie. I don't know if it's one of those, you know, crass teen movies that actually has a better motive to socialize teens. I don't know anything about that, but like he's got Ghandi on a list with American Pie. I don't think it's a great choice. There's also the fact that it's produced by Miramax, I guess. He was mentioning Harvey Weinstein and some others. But I think maybe, okay, there's a peak, right? So I'm actually monitoring my own improvisation as I do this. So that was the initial burst of information. It didn't include everything I wanted to say. There were some long pauses, and then I hit a point where something in my head clicked to say, okay, I've said enough. I've got the main idea, even if it's not as thorough as it could be. So now's the bring down. I don't know what else to say if I can't get personal, but there's an impulse. You know, you read this thing, you say, okay, another moron who manufactures clickbait has got my attention, and now I'm seeing how incredibly stupid this is because I'm looking at the web. It's on my desktop. It's on there with the news, you know, my homepage. I do use Microsoft Edge, and I get the MSN homepage with the articles about Joe Biden, and then there's a little window, you know, movies that didn't age well. And I think, you know, I brood over entertainment journalists and tabloids and how awful they are and how I feel they pollute my life in general. But I allow the feeling to go by. You know, I don't grab onto it. I allow it to go by and build into a reservoir of something, pollution in my life, these impressions. So here at least I've purged myself. I stopped and talked about the moment when it just became too much. And I guess I'll have to watch the video back to see if anything comes out of it, if any positive change comes. But now I'm going to experiment with uploading this with the screenshot. La 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 la.